Beginning. The problem no one dared name. In the upper rings of the galaxy, where stars were older and empires were built on bones no one remembered, the Varelian matriarch sat upon a throne carved from a single piece of living crystal. Her name was Matron Essirin, and she was older than most civilizations still using warp drives. To the galaxy, she was legend. To her people, she was everything. The Varelians were not ruled by kings or queens, but by matrons, ancient females whose genetic lines carried the accumulated strength, intelligence, and survival instincts of thousands of generations. When a matron died without heirs strong enough to inherit her legacy, entire dynasties collapsed. And now, for the first time in Varelian history, the future was failing. Essirin's daughters were powerful. Her granddaughters were brilliant. But her great-grandchildren, the next generation meant to carry the matron line, were weaker. Not sick. Not defective. Just less. Their reaction time slowed. Their bone density softened. Their immune systems adapted too narrowly to a peaceful galaxy. Evolution, Essirin realized with quiet horror, had begun to betray them. The Varelians had ruled uncontested for centuries. No predators. No existential threats. No need to adapt. And so they were losing the one thing that mattered most. Strength. The matron summoned her genetic seers, war scholars, and historians. For decades they argued, simulated, denied. Until one forbidden projection appeared on the crystalline walls of the council chamber. A comparative evolutionary chart. At the center of it was a species classified as Category Delta, non-dominant, short-lived, emotionally volatile. Humans. The room went silent. They are fragile, one elder hissed. They die easily, said another. They lack psionic ability, armored skin, or natural weapons. Essirin's eyes never left the data. They adapt, she said softly. They survive. The humans had endured poisoned worlds, self-inflicted wars, radiation, plagues, gravity extremes, and extinction-level events, and kept going. Their bodies were inefficient but resilient. Their minds chaotic but inventive. Their genetics aggressive in ways Varelian DNA had long forgotten how to be. Essirin made a decision that would freeze the galaxy. She would choose a human. Middle. The choice that shattered tradition. The announcement was broadcast across the Varelian Dominion and leaked into galactic space within minutes. The matron will take a human consort. Riots erupted on 3 worlds. Alliances were threatened. Ancient noble houses accused Essirin of madness. Never, never had a non-Varelian male been considered acceptable genetic material for the matron line. The purity laws alone spanned entire libraries. But Essirin overrode them all with a single command. Strength is not purity. Strength is survival. The human selection process was ruthless. Thousands were studied. Soldiers, scientists, explorers, criminals, and volunteers. Most failed within days. Psychological instability. Genetic incompatibility. Lack of resilience under Varelian gravity. Then there was Elias Rourke. He was not famous. Not exceptional by human standards. A former deep space engineer who had survived a station implosion, 3 years stranded on a marginal moon, and a radiation leak that should have killed him. When Elias was brought before the matron, he stood alone in the vast chamber, dwarfed by her towering presence. He did not bow. Not out of disrespect. Out of ignorance. Instead, he looked up and smiled faintly. "You're taller than the projections," he said. The court gasped. Essirin studied him with ancient eyes that had watched stars die. "You are not afraid," she observed. "I am," Elias replied honestly. "Just not frozen by it." That answer sealed his fate. Trials followed, not of strength, but of endurance. extended gravity exposure, neural stress simulations, isolation chambers designed to break most species within hours. Elias endured, not because he was unbreakable, but because humans SRN realized knew how to bend. Assassination attempts came next. Varelian nobles tried poison. Alien rivals attempted abduction. Even a human extremist group labeled Elias a traitor. He survived all of it. And slowly, against logic and tradition, the Varelian people began to watch him differently. When SRN finally announced the binding, the galaxy held its breath. The matron did not speak of love. She spoke of children. From him, she declared, will come grandchildren strong enough to face a galaxy that grows dangerous once more. Climax. When the future was tested, the first hybrid child was born in secrecy, the second in silence. The third changed everything. Sensors across the Dominion detected something unprecedented, a genetic resonance spike. The child's physiology adapted in real time, bone density shifting, neural pathways reorganizing, immune responses learning instead of reacting. The matron line was not weakening. It was evolving again. But the galaxy would not allow it quietly. A coalition of rival empires launched a preemptive strike, fearing a reborn Varelian dynasty stronger than ever. Fleets breached the outer systems. Worlds burned. For the first time in centuries, SRN ordered full mobilization. Elias stood beside her in the command chamber as war erupted. "You knew this would happen," he said. "Yes," SRN replied. "And now I know it was worth it." The Varelians fought with ancient precision. Humans, newly allied, fought with brutal creativity. Together, they did not just repel the invasion. They ended it. When the war concluded, the galaxy understood a terrible truth. The matron had not chosen a human for sentiment. She had chosen humanity as a future, ending the legacy that outlived her. SRN died 40 cycles later, as all matrons eventually did. But she did not die worried. Her grandchildren, tall, fierce, adaptive beings, stood at her bedside. Some bore Varelian crests. Some had human eyes. All carried something new: balance. At her funeral, representatives from across the galaxy gathered, not in fear, but in respect. Elias, older now, stood among them. When asked how he felt being remembered as the human who changed the Varelian future, he answered simply, "She didn't choose me because I was strong." He looked at the next generation, children who would shape centuries to come. "She chose me because humanity survives long enough to become strong." And in the quiet after her passing, the galaxy finally understood. The matron had not saved her bloodline. She had restarted evolution itself. The end.